The Equalizer will premiere a brand new Sunday, May 4, 2025, Season 5 Episode 18 titled Decisions, on CBS Tonight. According to the CBS synopsis, McCall and Dante are suddenly ambushed by Salazar and his army while on a romantic getaway. In the meantime, Aunt Vi finally decides to take the next step in her relationship with Captain Curtis, and Dee meets with her favorite author who may be able to help her get into her dream university, on the series finale. You won't want to miss tonight's show, so make sure to tune in between 10 and 11 p.m. Eastern Time for our review of The Equalizer. Check out all of our television recaps, news, spoilers, and more right here while you wait for the recap. In tonight's episode of The Equalizer, Angel Salazar found the Equalizer. The gangster was able to identify Robin, which was unusual because she wasn't just any cop who tried to stop him, she was a former member of the CIA and military intelligence, and she took care to conceal her true identity even as the Equalizer. Her friends knew that Salazar was getting close, but they didn't know how close. They were watching the video of the fictitious bombing and discovered that Salazar had been present. It's possible that Salazar was responsible for the actual bombing. It was an assassin who detonated the bomb. Because the bomb was a political assassination and the assassin attempted to complete the task after the explosive failed, he was paid that he was meant to eliminate a general from a particular nation. That general's second in charge was a buddy of Salazar's. They were seen together. There were several pictures of them. If his boss had been killed, the man could have granted him access to a nation's arsenal of weapons. It would have changed the course of Salazar's modest business in New York. He could move worldwide and become a huge guns dealer, but the assassination was prevented. Salazar missed his opportunity to grow into something greater. Robin and Detective Dante were also visible to him. He was unable to locate Robin. Dante could only be him. Dante was an excellent officer. He was a skilled perp chaser. He simply had no idea how to avoid being discovered by an arms dealer. Dante was followed by Salazar. Through Dante, he was able to locate Robin, which is how he got to the Poconos. It would have changed the course of Salazar's modest business in New York. He could move worldwide and become a huge guns dealer, but the assassination was prevented. Salazar missed his opportunity to grow into something greater. Robin and Detective Dante were also visible to him. He was unable to locate Robin. Dante could only be him. Dante was an excellent officer. He was a skilled perp chaser. He simply had no idea how to avoid being discovered by an arms dealer. Dante was followed by Salazar. Through Dante, he was able to locate Robin, which is how he got to the Poconos. The man wanted to spoil the romantic retreat for the couple. He had the option to murder them and conceal their remains in the miles of forest that encircled their tiny cottage. They wouldn't have been discovered. In any case, Salazar followed them with that goal in mind. Salazar misjudged Harry and Mel, which was his one error. Those two immediately followed him to the neighborhood they were aware of where their pals were staying. They made an attempt to get in touch with them. Cell reception was non-existent. After getting into the car, they sprinted after their pals. It was insufficient to preserve lives. The cabin next door had been occupied by another couple. They were a little strange and bothersome. They entered with a bang. Dante's wine was consumed by them. They also made an effort to invite themselves to join Robin and Dante for a nice time in the jacuzzi. The couple reached a stalemate on that final one. Glenda and Gary were expelled. Gary returned because he had left something behind, just as they were ready to truly enjoy their holiday. Someone shot him just as he was scooting back inside their cabin. Dante and Robin sought refuge. They eliminated the first to arrive. They recognized them as the men of Salazar. They didn't want to abandon Glenda to perish because they knew a second wave was on the horizon. Dante was supposed to get Glenda out while Robin made an emergency call. They were meant to reconvene at a tree they had talked about, but that never happened. It was Glenda who arrived alone. As he repelled the soldiers, Dante commanded her to flee. Gunfire was unfamiliar to Glenda. She didn't know them well either. She didn't have much hope for Dante, and she fled because she didn't want to die. Robin was unique.